For today's painting, I decided to make the hand the focal point, but I did still leave a little room for some interaction with the face, so the mouth and just barely a little bit of the nose is visible in this painting. I'm also trying some different colors out, so the colors are very much on the earthy side to begin with. I start with some colors that lean towards greens and browns and skin colors. But on the second layer, I decided to shift the colors over to some cooler blues, just very subtle blues, but it really gives this painting a little something extra to make it all come together. It just felt a little flat with just these earthy colors that I started with. I think the blues really saved this painting from being just kind of mediocre in my opinion. I am using my usual tools. I'm starting with my brushes from Trykel. These are the Spectrum Brights. These are definitely my favorite brushes right now. I'm also using a Trykel panel. This is a 9 by 12 inch panel with a 1.5 inch deep wood cradle on the back. As far as my paints go, I am using my usual palette of 11 colors. I'm not using all the colors though. I'm using just maybe 6 to 8 of them, I think. The colors from left to right are ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, ivory black, transparent oxide red, alizarin claret, cadmium red, cadmium orange, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light, and some titanium white. As far as mediums, I'm using some linseed oil to clean my brush and a 50-50 mix of odorless mineral spirits and stand oil for my medium. That's what I ended up using for both these layers. I think it ended up drying in about 2 days. For the first layer, it was touch dry, so I could go in on my second layer on the second day, so that worked out pretty well. I decided to call this painting Savor. It's just that interaction between her index finger and her mouth. It just gave me that idea of savoring something and just felt like it fit really well. As far as how I am drawing this, I am using the shape-based drawing method. I start with just a couple lines to get started, and then I start putting in some shapes. I start with the big shapes and then work my way to the smaller and smaller details. Because it is a hand, it is always a little bit more complex in my mind to get everything in the right place, so I take my time at the beginning before I start putting any kind of detail into, say, the fingernails and things like that. Once I get that first layer done, once I get the base colors done, that's when I start with the blue colors and sort of fine-tune how those blue colors interact with the first layer. I try to make some gradual gradations from green to blue, but also have some sharp jumps from green to blue as well. So I think it all kind of balanced out pretty well compositionally. It's just kind of one of those typical compositions that works really well, where it's darker towards the bottom and slowly gets brighter towards the top, with the brightest areas in the middle. I find that that's a pretty pleasing composition going that way. And that's about it as far as my process goes. I would like to really quickly thank all of my Patreon members. You guys are great. I really appreciate the support so much. It really helps keep me going. It helps support this channel to keep the videos coming weekly. So thank you so much for being members, and I really just can't say thank you enough. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to put some music on in the background so you can watch the full process for this painting I decided to call Savor.